Please tell me the answer. Is fate unchangeable? Or are we doomed to go with the Patreon selection and play Suikoden?
And welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I am joined by Matthew Van Zant.
Yo.
Johnny Windy Brandon.
Oh, I don't like that.
It's one of the only character names I could think of.
It's the worst character name.
Yeah. And Vanessa.
I'm Vanessa.
And this is a podcast where we play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs. This is the beginning of our Suikoden series.
Suikoden.
Suikoden. No.
As selected by the Square Roots Patreon.
Yeah, thanks, patrons.
Matt, someone did send us a video of how to pronounce this game.
Suikoden.
It sounds like you did not watch that video.
Suikoden.
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 Hey guys, are you enjoying playing Suikoden?
Yes.
Not
really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I actually like it a lot.
Wow.
So far.
I guess clowns. Well, I don't want to give my reviews up front, but I have some views about this game that we'll get to.
Well, let's get to it after we talk about how we leveled up.
Oh boy.
Yay!
John, why don't you kick us off this week?
I watched a film called Hereditary.
Oh, how did you like it? I like/love that movie.
I think it's one of the best horror films I've seen in a while. It is very, very good. I think people who have gone through recent loss and trauma, and maybe are sensitive to that, should check out the content warnings before seeing this film.
Yes, that I agree with you. That being said, there are moments in that movie. There's one moment in particular where I gasped, screamed,
Was that the moment where you have to be observant for it to be?
Yeah,
that is the best shot in the film. Although the other moment with the car is the second best.
Yeah, that one made me jump out of my seat a little bit.
Oh god, that movie is harrowing.
The sound work at that moment, the ka-thunk, oof.
Mm-hmm. I was like this I was just holding my hand over my face for about 15 minutes. The next 15 minutes are rough.
Yeah. And there's a real smash cut to a shot of gore that you didn't think you were going to get, that the filmmaker just puts right in your face, and it is intense.
That was a rough film, but very well made. I'm very much looking forward to seeing Midsummer now that I have seen this.
Yeah, me too.
Is it the same director?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ari Aster, I think his name is.
Mm-hmm. I'm very excited. I started rewatching Discovery. I haven't seen that first season since it aired. I'm like, I should give it another shot now that I sort of know the characters better. And boy, I hate Klingons. And especially that first episode is so Klingon heavy that if you don't like Klingons, that it's a tough watch, that first episode.
Yeah. I only made it halfway through the season. I'm definitely going to finish it, but I have not yet. I mean, I did get caught up watching Next Generation again.
Oh, okay. And otherwise, I've been playing, I'm kind of stealing a bit of Jim's. Jim's got so many level up things, but I've been playing more Control, and that game is really good. My 360 pad that I have been using for the past 10 years, USB one finally died. So I purchased a Xbox One pad to play with my PC, and it works wirelessly, which is really neat.
Ooh,
that's
the
neat.
RB button on my Xbox One controller has fallen off. Can you send me that one, please?
No, thank you.
And I like it.
I do like the blue. So I got a new one controller, and that game controls maybe the best third-person shooter controls. It's so good. Like,
Control?
it's just fun to, Control is fun to control. Like, all the powers are really fun to use. And
That's
like,
cool.
the shooting feels great, and just everything feels great playing it. I think I really, really like this controller. I haven't used an Xbox One pad before, and it's really nice.
Yeah, they're great.
It is a good controller.
I saw some gameplay footage of that game, and I found it very disconcerting because the way the character was using some of her powers was very akin to things that happen to me in dreams, and I was like, why is my dream on the screen?
That's really
Dream's great.
neat.
I like all of like the setting of that game. I don't know that the plot of the game really lives up to the setting of it. It has such an infinitely interesting setting and lore to it.
And it's connected to Alan Wake, which I think you find out the first like 3 minutes of the game. So it's not really a spoiler.
You can find some, cause like throughout the game you pick up like case files that are on the floor and random memos and stuff.
Yeah.
And there are some you can pick up that speak to Alan Wake.
Yeah. So it's in the same universe, and the puppet show is fantastic.
Oh, that's terrifying.
I love the puppet show. Like Alan Wake, there's some live action video you can just sit and watch, and they're pretty fun.
Yeah, they're really well done.
I've been watching the cutscenes with the smoking man too. Like, you know how you can go through and access his like hotline phone calls where he sort of tells you about different backstory things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I've been doing a lot. It's like a it's a lot like Alan Wake and Max Payne, sort of like a mashup between Alan Wake and Max Payne with like a little bit of concepts of both with a gravity gun sort of dealy thrown in. And all the environments, just everything is destructible, which is really
you
cool.
can pick up like a couch and hurl it at a group of enemies, or you can like pluck grenades out of the air as they're being thrown at you and then shoot them back. It's really neat.
And the bosses are tough. I found really, really hard. I die a lot in that game too. Like, especially now that I've got the dodge, it's a little bit better, but, yeah, it's tricky.
Do you have the shield power yet?
No.
That's pretty handy in a pinch.
I don't understand the level up system, like, the crafting.
Oh, the upgrade system. Yeah, it's pretty.
I don't like it.
Yeah, you have to, and it's hard because you have to collect a lot of stuff to build new weapon models and upgrade them, and it's tough. You have to lean into all the side missions and all that stuff to get enough to build all the weapon modes and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, how about I lead into Jim? Jim, you're back.
Hey,
everyone missed you.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Nice to see you, Jim.
Gone.
Everyone of our listeners, everyone.
No kidding. We missed you, Jim. We love you.
Oh, thanks.
Of course.
Let's see. I've been doing a bunch of stuff. I've been playing a bunch of games. This weekend, I downloaded Blair Witch and Gears 5 Early Access.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Blair Witch is awesome. I played it this afternoon and it was hard to put down. It's really fun and it's scary and tense, but not like overly oppressively suspenseful, which I enjoyed. I think it's a really good game. I'm excited to finish it. Gears 5 is pretty good, but it is buggy.
That's a bummer.
I think I'm like maybe halfway through it, and I spent like 20 minutes, maybe like 30 minutes, just dying over and over at this boss, and I finally beat him, and then as soon as I got to the cutscene after, the game kicked me out because it said that the level didn't load. And so I beat the boss again, same thing, restarted the whole game, fought the boss again, killed it, same thing. So I put it down and I might not pick it back up again.
Oh, wow. I was very excited to see that Rahul Kohli from iZombie is going to be in Gears 5.
Who does he play?
The Indian fellow, I think.
Oh, I think I just got to that part of the game.
He wears sunglasses. That's all I can tell you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, I'll let Matt talk about it chapter 2, but I have been rewatching Breaking Bad the past couple weeks because there's a Breaking Bad movie coming out, like an epilogue movie starring, the dude that plays Jesse Pink, starring Aaron Paul. That's coming out to Netflix next month. So I'm in the middle of a series rewatch.
Was it the Need for Speed game or movie that had Aaron Paul?
The Need for Speed movie.
Oh, okay. I assume that was good.
I don't, that's pretty generous. He's also going to be in the next season of, Westworld.
Oh, there's going to be a season 3?
There is.
Ooh. I wonder if the robots will be bad after all.
And I will say that Breaking Bad is still a fun show to watch, but it's still a tough show to watch.
It's not for me.
You don't like it? Why?
I noped out after 5 episodes. I was like, I hate this. I hate it.
Why? Why do you hate it?
It's too, agonizing, and I don't like the main character. I don't like how he treats his wife, and
oh yeah, well, you're not supposed to like him. He's like a terribly unlikable character.
A terribly unlikable character. I have zero interest in that. I'm not a straight man.
Oh, shots fired.
Watching all of his plans just unravel throughout the series until everything falls apart in the most agonizing way is it's fun to watch.
And then at one point he just sits and listens to 311 for a whole episode.
No, but every actor in that show gets like a showcase and they all nail it. Like, it's such a good cast and the writing is amazing and it's so well produced and it's just it's a good show to watch just for that.
No, thank you.
Vanessa, how did you level up?
I have been playing a game called Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. I don't know if y'all have heard of this game. This is a RPG from 2004. It's a great game, and I pity anyone who does not get to play it.
What you pity them?
Is that a subtle dig at our patrons?
No. I just really like the episode of Angel 2003 vampire vibes.
Is it really like a Whedon-esque vampire thing?
I think it's definitely inspired by it. It is set in Los Angeles, as was Angel. Every female character essentially wears like a crop top and has some kind of tramp stamp and low-rise jeans.
Mm-hmm. Was it a game not intended for a female player?
I would say that it's pretty heavy on the male gaze.
Oh, nice. My kind of game then.
I showed y'all some footage.
Wait, did you say gaze, G-A-Z-E, or gaze, G-A-Y-S?
It's pretty heavy on the male gaze. They're all over the place.
All right.
Yeah, it's got lots of boob shots, lots of strippers, lots of female prostitutes. No male prostitutes, as far as I've been able to see.
Wait, what was Jim's term for sex workers again?
Toots? Short for prostitutes.
Uh-huh.
So I wouldn't really recommend this game to people in the sense that it's a good game, but I would recommend it in the sense that it's a fun game. Because it's cheesy AF, and I love it. It's like someone's idea of what grittiness is if that person has never left the suburbs.
So would you, how do you feel about this game versus Detroit Become Human?
Well, I am kinder to this game because I feel like Detroit thought it was something that it wasn't. Mm-hmm. This game, maybe it thought that, but it's been so long that now it's just like stupid in retrospect, you know?
I kind of want to revise my ruling at the end of that episode because we record that episode literally minutes after I finished the game, and I was a little burnt out doing a 6-hour marathon of it. I think I might call it an instant classic. I thought it was pretty good. Like, it was dumb and badly written, but I really enjoyed it.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me on the dark side, Jim John.
I'm John E.
Jim John. Jimmy John.
Jim Johnny. Anyway, so Vanessa,
Yeah.
are you playing a sexy guy? Do you get to romance people?
Well, I'm playing a sexy lady because I like a dialogue, and so I picked the most seductive vampiress I could possibly be, so I could get all the plot points out of people. You do get to hit on a lot of people. The romance is less romance and more drinking the blood out of their bodies because they are flesh sacks full of tasty treats and you are a bloodthirsty vampire.
Oh no.
It's heckin' janky. I am using the patch. The combat is terrible. I am using the power of Andraste, and I do hope that we all play it together one day, so I don't want to spoil it too much.
Right.
But, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.
Boy.
10 out of 10. Best
Really?
game ever.
10 out of 10. The controls are trash. The game is terrible to play. 10 out of 10.
It's providing exactly what I hoped it would provide from having read about the game. And that's all I have to say about that. Who hasn't gone yet?
Matt.
Matt,
Hey.
how did you level up?
I saw a movie today, gang.
Ooh. What film did you see?
It's called It, Chapter 2.
Ooh.
And it starred a scary clown. Such a scary clown. And all of his friends. I watched It Chapter 2 today, and I liked It Chapter 1 quite a bit, and I wasn't sure what to think of this one going in, but I really enjoyed it a lot. It's a lot of fun. It was very scary. I wasn't sure what to expect going into it, but I did think it was a good, scary movie. There was lots of good jump scares and monsters, and it had a pretty good plot and great acting. And it was super good, and I have been led to believe that I'm not the only person that saw Scary Clown 2.
I saw it too.
Vanessa. Oh, Jim! Jesus Christ, that's twice.
Yeah, I did see a little bit of the Tim Curry It was on the Sci-Fi Channel today while
Was it?
I was flipping through the channels.
Makes sense.
There was a young boy in glasses in a basement. He was looking for the, I suppose, school maintenance man because he had had some kind of spill in the cafeteria. He went into the furnace room and followed the sounds of what he believed to be the maintenance man, but turned out to be a teen wolf. And
What?
he was like, "This can't be happening." And the werewolf was like, "Heckin' yeah, I'm a teen wolf. Here I
think
am,
you
werewolf. I'm in a jacket."
And
then
just watch Teen Wolf.
the werewolf did turn into Pennywise the clown.
And then
And-
Pennywise surfed on top of a van.
Did he say beep beep, Richie?
He did say beep beep, Richie. That's what happened. And then Richie ran upstairs into the cafeteria and he shouted, "There's a werewolf in the boiler room." And all the kids laughed at him, except for one table of some boys and a girl, who I assume were the losers of the Losers Club.
Richie in that movie, by the way, played by America's sweetheart, Seth Green.
I don't
that
know who
right?
that is.
Ooh, you don't know who Seth Green is.
He knows who Seth Green is. He's
Seth Green,
kidding.
the fucking kid from the Austin Powers movies?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Joker
Not Chicken
from
Seth Green?
Mass Effect.
Yes.
He was in the 90s It movie?
He was. He played Little Richie.
And Oz from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
Speaking of vampires, which we were.
We were.
I have watched the first 15 minutes of that movie, and there were so many mullets, I simply could not.
That the main character as an adult, the adult main character, has the world's worst ponytail in that movie. Also, John Ritter in that movie. Speaking of America's Sweethearts,
I do love John Ritter.
Yeah,
Is that one the child molester?
No, he died.
The child molester?
Yeah, wait,
no,
what?
John Ritter died of a heart attack.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh, well then.
Yeah, that's right. You're
anyway,
confused because
in
he
chapter
was
2
in the movie Stay Tuned with the child molester.
Jeffrey Jones.
That's Vanessa. Legitimately, that's 100% correct.
Are we
I
thinking about
cannot
Jeffrey Jones?
Figure it out. Jeffrey Jones, John Ritter are the same person.
You know what? Jeffrey Jones, fuck that guy. Not only did he do what he did to the kids, but he's a good actor who made things better, and then he decided to be a gross pervert.
Oh boy,
I really liked his acting.
Ferris
didn't or you
Bueller's
did?
Day Off.
I did.
Yeah, he's
very
great.
difficult to watch these
It
days.
is, yeah.
Because he does play a pedophile in that movie, and he is a pedophile.
He's the
Anyway,
best part of Howard the Duck.
that's
No,
an
the best
excellent
part
point.
is when Caroline in the City and Howard the Duck sing a song at a rock concert at the end.
I mean, the scientist is fucking Timothy Robinson?
Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins, the main character in fucking Shawshank Redemption. Literally one of the very best movies ever made.
Shawshank Redemption also on TV today. I was watching it right before we started this podcast.
Boy, today's Sunday, guys. You know what else was on TV? Football.
Sure.
Not in Canada, John. Fuck off. So, in chapter 2, I really liked it. I think I did read mixed reviews going into it, so I kind of thought I was a little trepidatious about it, but I just really dug it. I thought the actors were amazing. I thought it was good and scary. It definitely does turn into a bit of an adventure movie at the end, but I don't know. What the fuck else is it gonna do? Is it gonna Blair Witch and just end with somebody standing in the corner and Pennywise eating a toddler? Can the good guys win? It's fine.
Kudos to the casting too, because the people they cast as Richie and the adult versions of Richie and Eddie look just like their kid counterparts.
I thought
it's eerie.
So Bill Hader, we all know who Bill Hader is. He was amazing as Richie, but I was very shocked. I did not recognize the actor who played Eddie. And he
That
also,
would be James
I thought,
Ransone.
yeah, he also, I thought, was phenomenal. And I thought the two of them really carried the movie through, some of the weaker plot points, let's say. I was a chubby kid and I grew up to be a really ripped kid plot point. I mean, that was that character's whole personality, and it was not much. And Jessica Chastain, kinda not also bland and not that interesting. And even the main character of the movie, James McAvoy, he's got a lot going on, but he's upstaged by Bill Hader and John Ransone?
James Ransone.
Thank you. Anyway, but that's it. That's all I did. I saw it chapter 2. Definitely go see it. And report back to us and tell us how much you loved it. Who's next?
Now it's time to
Connor.
talk about Suikoden.
Bannon.
Suikoden.
Odin.
Suikoden.
Suikoden. Damn.
Suikoden.
Suck on damn one.
Suikoden.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it the whole season.
No. Paint a word picture, Jim. How does this game start?
How does this game start? I don't remember. Does it start?
It
Young
does.
man in the
I
palace.
do. I remember. You name your character.
Oh, yeah. What did y'all name your character?
Mine's name is Todd.
Todd.
Yeah.
Todd McDowell.
Yeah. Nice Irish name.
I named mine Paseo after the short-lived subcompact coupe that Toyota made.
Coupe?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it coupe?
Well, it is if you're an American.
Vanessa, what'd you name your character?
Vampire.
It's a protest vote if I ever heard one.
It was out of protest, but I'm very glad I did it because this character's name is used a lot in the game. People are talking about young Master Vampire all the time.
Oh my god. He's at the tip of everyone's tongue in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, what did you name your character?
I named my character Matt.
Wow.
So the game opens with the main character and his dad in a room about to go speak to the Emperor of the Empire.
An Emperor of the Empire.
The Emperor of the Empire.
Yeah.
The Emperor. The Emperor.
Yeah. They're like in a closet. It's weird.
Yeah, you know what's funny about this scene? The floor is so shiny. The first time you take control of your character, you are on the shiniest floor ever.
It's got some cool reflection effects.
I really liked it. I was surprised and delighted.
I think that the character designs in this game are awful and ugly compared particularly to Breath of Fire that we just played. But
Yeah.
I guess it's got shiny floors.
I
So
think
that's-
this game also moves at 60 frames per second instead of 20, and everything loads about 8 times as fast. So I'll take the art design of this game.
This game moves along at a nice clip.
Like battles just like, oh, it started,
Yeah.
it's over. They go like the battle system. Everyone fights at the same time, so you don't have to wait for like everyone to take their turn. It's
Yeah,
great.
it takes longer
There
to
are
tell each character to do something than it is to have them do it.
There are 6 characters in the fucking party, which is a bit
great.
much. But
Yeah,
it does have
I like
a
it.
free will function
Mm-hmm.
where you just kind of hit the button and they fight for you, and every
I'm
game
so
needs
into
this.
it.
Yeah.
It's great. But so we meet Emperor Barbarossa, who's
Yeah.
fancy lad.
Emperor Barbed Wire.
Barbie. Let's just call him Barbie for short. So
Yeah.
Barbie's got some long hair and a mustache, and he's talking about some war that they're going to have to fight. But the real star of this little meeting is you, Vampire, because you are now going to start doing jobs as an agent of the Imperial Army.
You're like an Imperial Guard, or what do they refer to you as?
Yeah, Imperial Guard.
Yeah.
And you'll be like a junior PA for the Imperial Guard.
Your dad is a super
Essentially.
cool general, so you get a job. You know, this
Nepotism, bro.
nepotism. Thank you, John. I really
My name is
appreciate
Jim.
it. I'm doing it on purpose now.
Yeah, General Tio, your dad is like gonna go out up north for an important mission. They name dropped the opposition force that he's going to fight, and I don't remember their name because it was something like really long.
Oh, I don't remember either.
The Empire ship of the Gloucester Union, or I don't know.
Hold on.
I
hold on, I'll look it up.
100% zoned out during this as well.
What's the name of the empire?
Ooh,
Empire.
That's a good question.
So this is
Scarlet
the-
Moon Empire.
This is the People's Republic of the Scarlet Moon Empire, and frankly, you can tell right from the bat that they're probably the good guys. They're probably the good guys.
Us?
No.
Oh, the other guys.
Yeah.
Wait, no, the Scarlet Moon Empire is the one that we're in right now.
Yes,
Right,
so
that's
this
what I
is
was referring
we're
to.
fighting the People's Republic of the Scarlet Moon Empire.
Oh, really?
What?
I thought it was like the Liberation Army.
Never mind.
I'm
Is it
very
not that?
confused.
Look, we don't know what's going on. We're just a dumb kid and a vampire. We've had
Yep.
this privileged upbringing. Now we have to have a job. I did like how all the characters are sort of like, you're going to have to start getting up early. You have a job now.
I didn't understand the living situation here.
Well,
Is this
me
is this like a
neither.
Lost Boys thing?
No, he's got
You're like a lord, like you're nobility, and you've got servants and bodyguards and orphans.
It's
Is
like-
that who these people are?
Yeah,
orphan
you know that
hangers-on.
show with the knights and the thrones, and how like every one
Wheel
of those
of Time.
kids had like
Full House.
had like people that would hang out with them who were hired to like take care of them, like guards and like lady who would plan their stuff. So like Cleo and Pawn are your guards basically.
Let's go through these people. We
It's like
got
Family Matters. So
Yeah.
So Gremio would be the Urkel.
no Gremio's
No.
like the mom.
Yeah,
I don't.
maybe
Okay.
I'd say Gremio's the Aunt Rachel.
Ted is the
Yeah.
Urkel.
So Ted
Yes,
is
Ted
the Ted's the
Definitely the
neighbor.
Urkel.
Ted, I wasn't under the impression that Ted lived there because they're just like he's his friend.
No,
but
he
then
does.
he
He
does
does.
seem to live there.
His bedroom is right by the front door. Thank you.
Yeah, so I guess Ted is like his live-in companion or something.
This
they
house
adopted
is
Oh, did
is
they?
like 5 or 6 bedrooms and a dining room, and that's it.
Yeah, and a little tiny
There's
kitchen.
a kitchen.
Yeah, because Gremio's making some stew.
Well,
Yeah,
it-
Gremio is a man, supposedly. I had a very hard time telling which characters were supposed to be male and which characters were supposed to be female.
So did I. Did you guys tickle Gremio in the kitchen?
What?
Did you-
No.
yes, I
you
did.
tickle him?
I totally tickled Gremio.
Listeners, Jim is doing a delighted tickling motion
my
with his
tickle
hands
fingers.
right now. He looks so happy
The
about this.
fluffy fingers.
Oh, you
No,
also,
I didn't go into the kitchen, so
there's a
please
character
tell me
you
about
meet
this.
next to Emperor Barbarossa, his like second in command advisor, Lady Windy, who is Vanessa. Like she looks like Vanessa. She's got Vanessa's hair. She dresses like Vanessa in flowing robes.
Oh boy. So the villain of the game is Vanessa.
Well,
I'm not a villain.
she's not a
Well.
villain. She's just
Who's
a complicated.
that looking
She's
over
100% a
rainbow,
villain.
smiling at everybody she sees? Who's that making dreams of a lotion? Everyone knows it's windy. I don't actually know the words to that song.
I don't know what
that
song
move-
that is.
that song features in a montage in Breaking Bad.
Does it?
Callback.
More like Breaking Board. Anyway.
Oh.
Hang
And
on.
Windy has
Call back to
stormy
what?
eyes.
Me
The
talking
flash
about
at
Breaking
the
Bad earlier.
sound of flies, and Windy has wings to fly above the clouds. Above the clouds.
So,
above
yeah,
the
so
clouds.
you live in this big old mansion in Gregminster with your dad, who's an important general, and he's going to go
Yeah.
north. And he's like, well, this is our last dinner together for a while because we won't see
Wait,
each other.
wait.
Oh,
I need to know more about this tickling.
oh, yeah. So Gremio is checking in on the stew that he has been left cooking for a while, and you can go up behind him and tickle him, or you
You
can
get 3 options.
Yeah, you can scare
pull,
him.
You can pull on his ear,
Oh, that's it.
or tickle him, or there's one other thing, I think. And like, the thing I love about this is his reaction, no matter what it is, the sound effect is a boner boing, the boing sound.
There's a lot of stock sound effects in this game.
There are.
And they're
I wanted to
amazing.
clap when I heard the boner boings. I was like, yay.
There's something going on with Gremio here. I feel like he is like the lover of the father.
I thought that too.
He's definitely a nurturing feminine, traditionally feminine because of masculine characters have to be not like this. He's all
Right.
caring. He's doting.
He's cautious.
Yeah, he's a like kind of a likable C-3PO a little bit.
Well, and he did talk about helping to raise young Master Vampire with General Tio.
Well,
so.
maybe they're our first gay couple, I think, in any of these games we played. I like that Gremio is a nurturing man, and it's something that is read as gay because these kind of characters don't really show up in a lot of games.
Right, that's why I thought Grimo was a woman. Also, he has long, flowing blonde hair.
And you can tickle him.
And you can tickle him, apparently, and I am so disappointed that I missed that. I think I need to restart the game.
I kind of want to play through this whole game just going with the narrative that Gremio is Tio's lover. Let's see
I don't see a reason why you shouldn't.
Yeah. Let's keep going with that.
We also have Cleo and Pawn, one of whom is a woman. I did not realize that for the entirety of this chunker until next time when one of the character refers to her as she. And they're just like knights errant, I guess, or guards or something.
Yeah, there's some word for it, like that the people like the Hound that look after someone in that TV show. I can't remember what the word is, but yeah. Looker after person. And Cleo is rad. She has a bow and she can cast magic if you give her, I think she's kind of supposed to be the mage. You get a fire rune that you can equip on her.
It's really cool how the long range characters in this game kick so much ass in combat.
Yes.
Usually they suck.
But they're super, super fragile, so you have to keep in the back row.
Yeah. But they one hit enemies, at least at this point in the game.
I love the battle system. I love how it's zooming in and out all the time. It's super dynamic.
Yeah, for the critical hits, that's great.
And sometimes they do combined attacks, and sometimes one character will attack two enemies just as a little bonus.
That's pretty neat too. So we get to have a last dinner, and then General Tio's like, yeah, I gotta go north, so I won't see you for a long time, son. Make me proud doing your PA work with the army. And you're like, okay, Dad. And then he and Gremio come in to say goodbye
While
to you.
While
you're sleeping in a adorable, your two dads are just checking in on you kind of way.
Yeah, and Gremio's like, should I wake him up? And he's like, no. Take care of him. You're a good dad, too. And he's like, oh, Tio.
I love you.
I'm so glad we found each other.
Aww. I love it. So, he heads off north in the middle of the night. I guess he doesn't like teary goodbyes. And, that's it. So we are going to meet Commander Craze to get our first assignment.
Yeah, but unlike a normal person, the rich can't just go to work by themselves. He has to bring someone to actually do the work for him.
Well, who, Ted?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So he's got this live-in bestie, Ted, who is kind of a weird kid. You don't really learn that much about him right now. I think Ted does. Oh, no, it's someone else that Ted doesn't like. Who doesn't Ted like?
Ted doesn't like the Dragon Knight guy.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. But Ted alludes, like, before dinner, you and Ted are alone in your room, and he's like, hey, I have a big old fat secret to tell you.
Oh,
he's like,
yeah.
It's the biggest secret you've ever heard in your stupid life. And then they're like, oh, dinner. And he's like, oh, wait, this can wait till later.
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
Dad, too,
I
interrupts.
assume that Ted is in love with Vampire. And that's what he's going to tell him.
Is everyone queer in this
Ted
game?
plus every other character in the game is in love with the main character.
Yep.
That's true.
The main character is like catnip to everybody.
When you talk to Wendy, who's the court mage or whatever, her first sentence to you is, wow, you're an attractive boy.
Yeah, and people keep talking about his eyes.
Yeah.
They're like, ooh.
And when you go to leave the castle after talking to the emperor, did you guys talk to the guy that's hanging out alone in the room above where you started?
No.
You go talk to this guy, and he's like, Tio, you have such a handsome, strapping son. I'm very jealous of you. and Tio's like, oh, you're embarrassing me. And then that's the end of the exchange.
Everyone's super into Vampire.
I know, everyone's super horny for this teenage kid.
Yep. And so Craze is not the coolest dude. Your dad doesn't like him. Before he leaves, he's like mad that you're assigned to work with this guy because he sucks.
Yeah.
And he does suck. He is a jerk. He's like always going like, heh, heh, heh. So you know he's a bad guy.
But to make it clear, Ted has gone with you as part of your entourage, and they actually use that word in the game.
They do.
And you have to...
Let me be in your entourage.
Ted
let me be your
is
turtle.
He's the turtle of your entourage.
you have to... wake up Ted, or you can I tried to wake him up and he just wanted to keep sleeping in, but then he got mad at me for leaving without him. It's like, dude, I tried to wake you up like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, whatever. Can't believe you tried to leave without me.
Mm-hmm. So, Craze tells you that you've got to go northeast to Magician's Island to meet Leknat and get the astral projections for the year to know.
They want the weather report, essentially.
Yeah, it's like they got to go pick up the old Farmer's Almanac.
Yeah, it's the fucking almanac.
I think it's like, isn't it like astrology? Like what days would be favorable to attack and what wouldn't?
Isn't that pretty much what the old Farmer's Almanac
That's
is?
what the Farmer's Almanac is, yeah.
What? Really?
Yep.
Well, no,
What?
It was about the best time to plant your fucking seed.
Yeah, I remember, like, I grew up in a
best
very
time to
small
plant your
farming
fucking
town,
seed.
and when the new almanac came out every year, people were talking about it, man.
That's the Manhattan, Kansas?
That is Milton Vale, Kansas.
Cannot be
wow.
a real thing. You were a liar. I do not
It
believe
is, man.
that there are still people that read almanacs.
I mean, it wasn't like their Bible or anything. Like they didn't
They didn't have the internet. This is 1992 or something, right?
No.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we were teetering on the edge of a recession.
Maybe the almanac will solve my farm.
Yeah, they needed some kind of direction.
So is it really okay. Well,
It is kind of like they look at like the records from the prior year plus like astrology, and it's weird.
Wow. Okay, so you're going for the
Did
farmers.
you guys know that there's a controversy around the Farmer's Almanac these days?
No.
there?
Is it all the new gay characters they've added?
Yeah.
Too
No,
many
it's
women.
because the Farmer's Almanac acknowledges climate change, and
Oh, interesting.
some people are not happy with it. I think that's true, or I just made it up.
Well-
look, I heard it on a podcast. It was on like an episode of This American Life. It's interesting stuff.
Oh, John, in 1982, the Old Farmer's Almanac began publishing an annual Canadian edition.
Ooh.
It's actually fitted for Ottawa, so
Ottawa?
it's not for you.
Yeah, that's like the other side of the country.
Yeah.
I guess my mom, if she was planting crops, could look at it, but she lives there. Anyway, so
So your
we're not
mom's
gonna
looking for someone to plant their seed.
gross. Stop.
Your
it.
mom wants to be plowed.
Oh God, what is wrong with you two? Oh. Anyway,
It's a little bit of straight guy humor, John. We like to joke about fucking each other's moms. You know how it is.
I watched a bisexual guy's podcasting or Twitch streaming on Vanessa's recommendation, and there's far too much of this.
Yeah, that's not entirely true. What happened was I saw a guy who looked like a guy that John might know based on his username and appearance, and all I said was, do you know this guy? It was not a recommendation.
That's a good point. That's true.
I'm very careful not to recommend streamers on this show because
John jumped the gun.
Yeah, I
their
was just super
politics
excited,
are not always known.
and then I was like, nope, I do not know him, and don't like his sense of humor. Anyway, so we get this mission, and he's like, well, and you can't really. There's no road there. There's no bridge there. You've got to take a freaking dragon.
Hey, John.
Got to take a freaking dragon.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
You know who does like his sense of humor? Your mom. Oh, where's the applause? Such a good joke.
So, we are going to meet up with a Dragon Knight, and we get this junior Dragon Knight. And his name is, and I wrote this down, Futch. Which sounds like some kind of sex thing, but is not.
It should be.
We climb aboard this dragon with Futch.
Mm-hmm. And him and Ted do not like each other.
It's the worst looking cutscene I think I've ever seen in a
love
video
this
game.
Cutscene. It's great.
He looks kind of like Flammy.
Yeah,
He does. He
quite-
looks like a
except
shitty Flammy.
There's supposed to be a
Flammy
back-
looks great on the SNES, and Futch's dragon looks like a piece of shit on the PlayStation.
I think it looks great. There is no basket in the back, even though that's what you're supposed to be riding on. So I was like, where's...
There are no visible characters on this dragon.
And also, the dragon, Black, I believe it's named, roars, and they make a note of it, and it is just out of that stock. We'll be talking a lot about this stock sound effect library.
An elephant
It's
sound.
just an elephant.
Oh, that's right.
It is a sampled elephant honk.
Yeah, somebody just leaned on a keyboard when it was set to animal noises, and that's what they went with.
Sure. That sounds good to me.
Yeah,
So
that's a dragon.
Also, all the spell sound effects are stock sound library, which is amazing. And there's lots of boings, and when something bad happens, there's a wah 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 trumpet,
There is.
which is great.
Like, give me all the boner boings. I love that sound effect.
Boing. There's during the mini game we play, there's like banjo music with boing sound effects. I think it's a mouth harp.
Jaw harp, they call that.
Oh, okay. And the music in this game, by the way, fantastic. Like, there's this really nice guitar solo, like acoustic guitar song when you're in your house in Gregminster. All the music's really good.
The music is good. I like the music.
Me too. So next stop is
Magician Island.
Magician Island. And we're going to go see Leknat. And it's your first little combat-y area. You fight some, I don't know, what are you fighting here? Ants?
There's like ant skeletons, or is that the next place?
No, I think there's ants here. And then there's, And then,
Can I tell you about the first time I tried to play this game last night?
sure.
I started the game up last night, got through the part where you go do the first job, and the guy tells you, he makes you repeat it, Craze does, northeast of town is where this place is. So I went to the world map, walked northeast for a minute, got into a first fight with 2 soldier ants, and they party wiped me, and I didn't save, so I had to start over again.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
It was sad.
What was his name again? Ted? Todd?
Yeah,
Todd.
Ted.
Todd.
Todd. Yeah, Todd and Ted.
So you head up, and then on your way to the tower she lives in, there is a boy, and he stops you and he says, "Oi, my name's Luke. Before you meet Lady Leknat, I'm going to make you fight my golem."
Yeah.
Why is he a street urchin? Why is he a Dickens era street urchin?
I just imagine he sounds like Luke from the Professor Layton games. Oi, Professor, I've solved it.
He's
Make him
just
sound
a
like
real
Tiny
loser.
Tim.
Yeah, this kid
He's
sucks.
just like, check it out.
It's me golem.
Watch me turn into a golem. Weren't expecting that, was ya? Yeah,
I want to make sure you could fight. You could fight. And
Guys,
then,
these voices remind me, is this all our first time playing this game?
no. Oh, yeah, that's a
Good
good
question.
thing.
Oh, so we're all little baby fresh eyes, except
No.
for John.
John just said no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for
I
John.
have played most of this game before. I got stuck somewhere, but I've played 15 hours of 20 or something.
Okay.
I didn't know this game existed. I knew that there were Suikoden games, but like I assumed it was like an old series that started on like the NES. I mean, even Breath of Fire is a fucking Super Nintendo game.
I
But I
thought
guess-
these were strategy games.
I feel like there's a Suikoden Tactics on like PSP or something.
Isn't there a strategy element?
Yeah, there are multiple kinds of battles in this game. We have not gotten to it all. There's like
there is a Suikoden
battles.
Tactics game.
Yeah,
there is a Suikoden Tactics.
There are
on the
big
PS2
battles. There's duels and army battles and stuff in this game. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So what do you think of now that we got to our first boss fight? What do you think of the combat system?
I like the combat system.
I think it's after Breath of Fire 3 or Grandia, which are very slow. This game is very fast, and for me, that really helps an RPG.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly agree with you. I thought that Breath of Fire was fine, speed-wise. But I do agree with you that, boy, like, I like a good, fast, fucking turn-based battle.
Yeah.
Like, these things cannot drag on. And the free battle, I think I mentioned this earlier, the free will? Free will.
Yeah.
So, listeners, if you're not playing along, in the battle menu, the first option it gives you is whether you're going to fight, run, or free will. Fight, you pick each individual character's action, run, obvious. And free will, they just do what they want. And it's great because these little turn-based battles, against ants or whatever, just please play the free will it up. Like, play it for me. I don't need this shit. Every game should have this.
it makes grinding almost enjoyable. Like, I grinded for like 10,000 of the bits, which is what this game refers to money as.
Mm-hmm.
So that I could get like all like the best armor I could from that third town before I did the Mount Sifu. I went ahead and grinded for like all the armor in the armor shop there and sharpened all my weapons and stuff.
Oh, nice.
And it was not a hassle.
Yeah, you just go click, free will, okay, click, and the fight. Yeah, the way that I like the little unity system where because there's spoiler alert, 108 characters you can get.
Nice.
You can you find ones who have special combinations and can do super powerful moves together. Like I think up to 3 or 4 at once can unite and do super powerful attacks if you get all them in your team. And that's why there's so many characters, and that's why there's 6, which I think is great. I love big parties in these games. I always feel happier when a game has 5 or 6 characters in them.
It's fun.
Mm-hmm. Although I think not all of the 108 are fighters. I think some of them just hang out. But we'll talk about that when we start recruiting people to our little army.
Yeah. I also don't think you can actually recruit them all in your first playthrough.
You can.
Oh, really?
Yes. But I think you have to play super carefully and do a bunch of weird stuff.
I'm definitely not.
Yeah. It's okay. You don't have to. I think you recruiting all 108 changes a couple of things in the ending.
At one point, when the campaigning between Suikoden and Vampire was very hot, I thought about offering to get all 108 stars if it won. And then I remembered that I didn't care if it won, and I hate this game.
Did you hear that, listeners? Matthew is humbly offered to recruit all 108 characters.
Yep.
Of the Suikoden playthrough.
And I definitely am going to do it.
Sure you are, buddy. Sure you are.
I am.
And should we play Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, I promise to bite all 108 characters.
So we beat up this golem, and we get to meet Leknat, who the first thing she does is like, God damn, you're hot. I just want to take your pauldrons off and your tunic and and she fans herself. She's like, no.
Leknat is Wendy's sister, we have been told. I forget by whom and for what purpose.
Someone.
I think doesn't Craze tell you that?
Oh, probably.
Yeah, he's like, be nice to her because she's Wendy's sister.
Yeah.
And she goes and grabs them astral projections. And she's like, okay, enough of the flirting. You're a teenager. This is weird. I'm going to go to my room for a while, have a bath.
Oh. A cold bath.
Yep. And Luke escorts you back down. Or, he uses his magic to warp you down because everyone's afraid that Futch is going to leave without you.
And he was about to.
Yep.
Futch is out there and he's like, those guys suck. They're not back. I hate doing this. I'm freaking Futch and I deserve more than just ferrying these people around. I'm out of here.
And I love in the as your people teleport in, there's like this super loud anime sound effect, like wow, wow. And Ted, of course, appears about. No, it seems no one likes Ted, so he teleports like 10 feet above ground.
Yeah, he's like, oh, Ted.
Why does everyone hate Ted?
I don't know. He's Vampire's best friend.
Yeah. So you you take another lovely flight back to Gregminster. You give Craze it could be Craze, but I guess it's Craze, the projections, and his buddy Kanan is there.
I actually read it as crazy.
Oh yeah, that could be it.
That's a stupid character name if it's crazy.
So is Craze. Spelled Kraze, FYI.
Kanan is their husky buddy. He works for the Empire. He's like, what's it called when someone works he's a bureaucrat. He's not a fighter. He will not fight.
Yeah.
And he is assigned, I love that there's a great bit where he's repeating everything Craze says as he tells you the next mission. And, and Kanan just repeats it until Craze gets mad. And, Craze to, I guess, get Kanan out of the office, tells him to join us. And our next mission is to recuperate some missing taxes from Rockland, the town to the east. But things are a bit more complicated than they seem.
Oh, no.
So you trundle over to Rockland, do some random encounters on the way. I love the little map version of you because it's this tiny little chibi character.
It reminds me of Chrono Trigger a little bit.
Yeah, totally. So you head to Rockland, and this town is having a drought. All the crops are dead. Everyone's sad. Everyone's like hates the Empire there. And, like kids are like, oh, are you going to hit me? I guess not. Cause you must not be a member of the Imperial Army because you're not hitting me.
Yeah. And everyone's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Come on. What? We're not going to hit you.
Mm-hmm. So they say that basically everyone in the town's real upset because Grady is, taking all their profits for tax money. And he's got this super huge mansion full of, treasures and stuff upstairs. So you go to the super huge mansion. You are not allowed to look around. You meet Grady and he's like, oh man. So like, I totally would have this like tax money for you, but like bandits have been stealing our stuff and it really sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So
it seems believable.
Why don't you go to Mount Saifu and deal with these bandits? Cause they're like stealing all your tax money.
Yeah. And everyone's pretty on board. They're like, heck yeah. All we want to do is fight. Mm-hmm. Finally, we can do something real instead of just like run errands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pon especially is like, yeah, gear up. Mm-hmm. I want to kill. I guess killing all these ants hasn't been enough for him. He wants some real fights. And he talks about
wants some action.
What a like famous warrior he is. He keeps bragging about that, but like, why is he level 1 then, dude?
Oh, called out.
Mm-hmm. If you are such a good warrior, you should be a little bit higher level. I'm just saying.
Ooh, no, you didn't.
Like at least Alice in Phantasy Star 4, she started out at like level 7.
Yeah, and that's not nothing.
Mm-hmm. So you head to Mount Saifu. Did you find anything else in Rockland?
There were some treasure chests and things in the town itself. Yes, I did. I found a bullshit mini game.
Oh boy, we'll have to talk about that in my corner because I'm not good at this mini game. And
I am good at this mini game.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I was watching you play some of it and was very frustrated.
So, you head to Mount Saifu. And on the way there, you are now attacked by your first human enemies and murder the lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
And you get up to, you do some treasure hunting. There's some neat stuff. There's a defense rune, which like basically buffs stats. And you go through some spelunking until you get to this Queen Ant. Your first big boss fight, other than the first real boss of the game, Jim.
The first real boss of the game.
The first real boss of the game.
She is a pretty tough old ant. Heckin' big. She looks like the first boss from Secret of Mana, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a big old ant.
Well,
She's
like
also on the screen before you fight her, which is I like when they do that with bosses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so you can have that feeling of dread.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, here it come.
You know, you say she looks like a big old ant, and I feel like that might be mischaracterizing this character. I'm just going to put this into the group chat for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
So we can all take a look at this. This character who Vanessa says looks like a big old ant. How would you describe this character, Vanessa?
Well, I guess it's more accurate to say that it looks like a big old winged ant.
Mm-hmm, like a queen.
Mm-hmm. And it's wearing a hat.
Yeah.
And that hat is the full torso, arms and head of a woman, who is wearing a sort of purple bustier and purple elbow length of gloves.
Mm-hmm. Very fashionable.
Yeah, she has wild red hair, and she is crowned with some sort of antenna kind of things.
For another visual reference, this is Motaro from Mortal Kombat, only instead of a horse, it's an ant, and instead of a muscly man on top, it's a lady.
A sexy lady with a
bustier. Sexy lady. Yeah.
And so yeah, not quite a normal queen ant, but unless maybe to Vanessa that is what she imagines normal queen ants to look like.
Well, it's sort of a centaur if the human part of the centaur came out of the top of the horse's head.
Which would be amazing.
It would be.
Oh boy. So the problem is that she real tough. Anytime you kill her ant guards, they just pop back up, and it looks like we're not going to win this fight.
Yeah, things seem pretty dang dire.
Mm-hmm. So
and guess what? We don't win. We run away.
Mm-hmm. And then
we're like, screw this. This ant is too queen.
Wait.
Yes, queen. Goodbye.
We don't run away. Do
well,
we?
They run away.
Yeah. And then Gramiel's like, oh, we should retreat. There's no way we could beat this. And Ted's like, don't worry, buddy. I got this.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, what?
And they're like, excuse us,
He's like,
Ted,
you are a literal child. What are you going to do? He's like,
is
I
he
got
though?
this.
He winks.
Is he?
He dropped something. I think around here he mentions like, I'm 300 years old, and then kind of cuts himself off.
I think it's when Futch is giving him shit, where he's like, I don't have to take this. I'm 300 years old. Excuse me.
Whoopsie.
Yeah.
What a giveaway.
I'm just a little boy.
So, you let Ted, you trust Ted. I think you got, this game gives you lots of dialogue choices where you can be rude, but it doesn't matter. I think Vanessa's been always taking the negative ones.
I was trying because it gives you so many options where it's like, will you do this epic quest for us? And you can be like, yes, I will. Or you can be like, nah, screw you.
It does. When like, so spoiler alert for later in the episode, when Ted is like near death and he needs to be carried to his bed, it can be like, will you help him? And you can choose no.
You'd be like, no. But if you do choose no, it will, sometimes it lets you walk away, but then it's like, well, come back if you change your mind. And then you like wander around and like, well, can't advance the plot at all. So I guess I changed my mind. And then sometimes it just is like, are you sure you won't do it? And you can be like, yeah, I'm not going to do it. what if you aren't sure? So it like cycles through dialogue until you say yes.
Yeah. You have to say yes, basically. So
You don't.
Oh.
Listeners, you don't have to say yes.
That's an important lesson.
From square roots.
From square roots. So, you let Ted go and fight it himself, and Ted just like uses some dark rune and just pummels the Queen Ant with his dark magics and absorbs her into the Nether Realm.
Yeah, Ted is just like, check this out. Turns out I had super magic all along. Pretty neat, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And they do think it's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
He has the Soul Eater rune,
That's right.
which basically like causes a black hole that sucks the Queen Ant into it.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And Kanan watches this from not fighting and is like, oh, I see. This is what Craze was talking about.
Oh. Golly.
He's like doing a Shakespearean aside to himself.
Well, now I've seen it.
So after you defeat the Queen Anne and like suck her into a parallel universe or whatever, black hole, whatever you want to say, you get to the top and you get to the bandit base, which you do not explore. Instead, you meet two bandits outside. And their names are Sidonia and Varkas.
Oh, one of them has their shit together and the other one does not.
And they all seem
How
to be
do you know that?
kind of bragging.
Yeah. They're just like, we're heckin' good bandits. We hate you. You can't steal our tax money.
And he's like, what? What are you talking about? They don't seem to truck with the philosophy that they have been stealing tax money. They have been like, no, we are like not doing that. But
Yeah.
we will fight
We're the
you.
ones who do not steal it, but we hate you.
And then Pon's like, fight. You won't fight us. I'm going to kill you, jerkos. My name's Pon. I'm like a super ultimate warrior. Even though I'm the same level as a child. So you get into a fight with these guys and like, yeah, the unity attack with Gremio and Pon just destroys them in one hit. Destroys
it does.
Sidonia in one hit.
Yeah, and your other characters just attacking the other guy will finish that guy too.
Yeah, so they are pushovers.
Although I was like, what level were you guys when you did this?
I think 8 or 9.
I was level
something
10,
like that.
and I had sharpened my weapons and gotten upgraded equipment. I destroyed these guys.
Yeah, it was not hard.
So you then are ordered to bind up Varkas and Sidonia to bring them in as prisoners, which is very hot.
Yeah,
I
tie
mean,
'em up.
Whoa, no. And you transport them back. So you stop by Rockland on the way back to Gregminster, and Grady's like, oh, on the way to see Grady, you see Imperial troops have arrived, and you can tell they're Imperial troops because they are literally kicking children. Literally
Just
kicking
like
them.
the kids promised.
Yep, they are awful. And you
The
get
Imperial troops come to town and they kick children.
You get to Grady, and he's like, oh, you actually did it. Wow, that's so great. So thanks, I guess. And he gives you 10,000 bits, and it gives you like the do-do-do-do. But then Kenan's like, I'll handle that. And then it goes, wah, 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 wah. Which was fantastic. I hope that throughout all the saddest, like most emotional parts of this game, you are going to get those kind of sound effects. You killed my mother. Boing. Oh boy. So Grady gives you cash. You head back to Gregminster, and when you get to Gregminster, Kanan's like, hey Ted, why don't you come with me? We got a go talk to Craze about you. And, Ted's like, okay, I'll meet you back home there, vampire. And, yeah, but he doesn't come in time. Like, y'all are having dinner and no Ted.
Yeah,
No
they're like,
Ted.
Ted must just be messing around again. Typical Ted.
And a bit of
Wendy.
sympathetic fallacy. Suddenly it's all rainy outside and dark and things are bad. And, you hear a crash at the door. I think a scream, maybe? There's some weird sound. And, Ted comes in and he has been wounded. Oh no, you got a cutscene. You get a cutscene explaining what happened.
Yeah, you get a cutscene.
So, smash cut to the palace. Ted is there with Craze and Kanan and Wendy. And Wendy's like, so we meet again. And
Ted's like, oh, dang, it's you. I freaking hate you.
Wendy, Vanessa's
He calls her a
doppelganger.
witch.
Wow, he did?
Yeah, he calls her a witch a couple times.
Oh, witch. I thought I heard something else.
This is a family show, John. We don't use that kind of language.
So Wendy's like, yeah, we've been looking for your true rune for a long time. And he's like, yeah, well, you ain't gonna get it. And she's like, well, you aren't gonna use your magic here. It's too powerful. And he's like, watch me. And, uses his crazy magic and explodes the room, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
He manages to escape, but he is super wounded. And
Yeah, because he caught himself in his own blast.
hot. And then Cleo's like, you can, or apparently like Jim, choose not to help him up the stairs. Cleo tends to his wound, but unfortunately it's pretty deep and magical, so it's not healing properly.
Yeah, they say it's a magic wound, which they don't elaborate on.
No.
What's the difference between a magic wound and a regular wound?
She can't like use her Healy medicines on it.
This wound smells like magic.
And, so you're tending to his wounds and he tells you all about what happened. He's like, oh yeah, I got this Soul Eater rune and you should probably take it.
Yeah, Cleo says it's one of the 27 something runes.
True runes, yeah.
27 true runes.
And,
That sounds made up.
I mean, it is. It's a story, Vanessa. It's not real. This did not really happen. I need you to be aware of that.
Okay.
So yeah, he's like, so I know this is going to suck, but can you take it from me? Cause I don't want it anymore.
It's weird. He keeps it in his glove. He's like, take off my right glove. And then
Oh, I
the
thought it
rune
was
comes
like-
out.
Yeah. I thought it was like embedded.
Impressed in his hand.
Yeah, that's what I assumed.
Oh, yikes. Is that true?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh man, body horror, Suikoden.
So he asks you if you want it, and he's like, and this is a big responsibility, and you can say no, but eventually you have to say yes, because this is how the game goes.
You don't have to say yes, even if they keep asking.
Okay. For the purposes of the plot of this RPG, you have to say yes to keep going.
So we all
Okay.
said no, the game wouldn't let us proceed, and now we're done with Suikoden.
The end.
So we turned it off.
Thanks, patrons.
That would be the worst ending. We would lose 100% of our patrons if we did that. So we decide instead to take it. We take it. He gives it to us. We take it.
He gives it to us and we take it.
And now we are loaded with his rune. His rune that is apparently like cursed and gives bad luck to whoever takes it.
That's what he seems to be implying.
Yeah, because you take it, and he says, and he apologizes.
Yeah. He's like, this is really going to suck for you, but YOLO.
And it's like, for the first time in forever, I can sleep. And he does. And then you get some knocks at the door. Uh-oh.
Knock.
It's the Imperial Guard, and they are looking for Ted.
And they know he's there because our buddy who went to go get medicine.
Oh, right. We forgot to mention that. Pawn.
Yeah. the famous warrior.
He ratted us out. He's like, I'm not cool with this. We got to report him to the Emperor and Craze. And everyone's like, maybe chill a little bit, Pawn. He's like, yeah, cool. I'm going to go get some medicine and totally not rat you guys out.
But he totally rats us out.
Mm-hmm. And everyone's like betrayed by Pawn. Cleo especially took it real personal that he.
Yeah, maybe they have something going on. We don't know.
Mm-hmm. So
something going Pawn.
Ooh. So Pawn, he's real mad at you guys, or not mad, but he's brought in the guards, and the guards are going to take Ted, and you do give it. What happens here? You give it. He surrenders himself, right?
Yeah. Ted's like, you run away, and I will surrender myself. And you can be like, no. And I did tell him no several times. And he's like, I know you understand that you have to run away, and I'll surrender myself. And I was like, no way. He's like, the only thing we can do is for you to run away, and I'll surrender myself. Heckin' no. Okay, but you run away, and I'll surrender myself. And that goes on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
So, unfortunately, you run away without Ted. He has been captured by the Imperial Guard, and you're out in the pouring rain at night. The only place you can think to go is the... Oh, no, Matt's gone.
Mm-hmm.
The only place you can think to go is the inn, run by Marie, a nice lady.
Yeah, and she does let you in.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, hey, heard there's some trouble. Why don't you go on upstairs?
And she, pretty much as soon as you go upstairs, she gets confronted by Imperial guards, and she's like covering for you, but you still come down. And
yeah, you're upstairs. It's young vampire, Cleo, and Gremio, whatever his name is. Gremio. And they're like, don't go wandering around, vampire. And you're like,
I won't go wandering around.
And he
But you
immediately
totally
goes
can
wandering
go
around.
wandering around.
Yeah, in fact, you have to progress the story.
Ooh, I wanna progress the story. So I'll wander round. When we wander round, oh, gotta progress the story.
That was beautiful.
I wrote that song myself.
I loved it.
You know
Thank
what's
you.
ironic about that is that song in no way propels the story forward.
So, you can then, as you're like there, as you walk downstairs, a guard notices you and, is like, hey, aren't you that McDowell boy? And you're like, who? Andy McDowell? No, I'm not related to them. And then he's like, it's you. But then you can like, sass them or be nice. Either way, they recognize you. And, this guy who's hanging out at the bar, Victor, joins in the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And
He's like, hey, it's me, Victor. I've been here the whole time, and I'm gonna help you.
You murder all these soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of them. They had family, they had kids. You don't care. You just cut them down in their prime.
Well, if they did have kids, they were probably kicking them.
Jeez. And you, then you have to kind of make a quick escape and Victor helps you out and he runs off, but you can follow him and he's just hanging out on a park bench waiting for you folks to ask him for help.
He does. He runs away to a park bench.
Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, I guess somebody needs my help now, huh?
And you're like, yeah, I never said I didn't.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay, well, I have a plan. I can get you through that front gate and then we can get out of the city. Then we should go to John Cougar Lenankamp.
We also learn as you're running out the door that Victor has skipped out on his bill.
Yeah, which is kind of sad because Marie's super nice.
Yeah, he has dined and dashed.
So he's like, okay, well, just come with me through the front gate. And you go to the front gate and, he like goes and talks to the guard, and the guard's like, cool, I'll let you guys by if you just hide your faces. So you do. I guess he needs like some, what's the word? Plausible deniability. So if he doesn't see your faces, it's fine. And, Gremio's like, why did they let you through? And he's like, well, I just bribed them. And, Gremio's like, oh, that's super nice of you. And he's like, yeah, here's your wallet back.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use my
they're
money
like,
for
how'd
this.
you bribe him? You said you didn't have any money. And
Oh,
he's
yeah,
like, I
that's
didn't
it.
use my own money.
Yeah, so he's a scofflaw. And he'll like escort you to some friends he has in the resistance, the rebel army.
Ooh.
So he brings you down to Lenankamp. And that, I think, my friends, is where we'll end this episode.
Yay!
Where are we playing to next time, John?
Okay, so you will fight the zombie dragon.
Ooh, there's a zombie dragon in this game.
There's a zombie dragon in every game.
I know, the last one too.
So after you fight the zombie dragon, there'll be a little bit more story, but basically, yeah, fight the boss of the zombie dragon and finish that little bit. And I think that will be a good place to end. You're going, basically fight the zombie dragon, go out on the pier.
Nice.
Yeah. That is the end of our chunker. Bullshit minigame corner. Vanessa.
Yeah.
It's John's bullshit minigame corner. Normally, Matt
John's
sings
bullshit
this song.
mini game corner. Matt's not here, so it's my song time. Matt's internet cut out during recording. John's bullshit mini game corner. I'm sorry
Is there
I
a
had
mini
to
game?
breathe in the middle of the phrase. I wasn't prepared to sing and wasn't breathing properly.
You gotta take a deep breath to play these mini games. Take a deep breath to sing these songs.
You gotta take a deep breath if you, the listener, wants to sing along. Here we go. It's John's bullshit mini game corner.
We can.
So yeah, there's one mini game.
Yeah. If you go talk to Marco in the town of Rockland, Marco will offer to play a game. Is this 3-card Monty, basically?
Essentially, it's the cup and ball.
Insert boner boing
Boing.
sound effect.
Yeah, I feel like this is the only series where Matthew will let me put in this annoying sound effects because they're all the Suikoden sound effects. So, there is a pattern to this that I was reading, but I didn't quite make it work, where you can predict what the outcomes will be, and then you can use that to make lots of money very quickly.
Yeah, there's also a way to predict what the outcome will be called watching the cup that the coin is under and just choosing that one.
The lady who wrote the guide says she can do the, like, up to 1,000 watching it, because it's pretty fast at 1,000, and then at 10,000 bits per bet is crazy fast.
Yeah, I couldn't watch it that quickly. So you're right. I suppose at that point you do need to know the pattern.
Yeah. There is a set pattern to this. It's a little tricky, but yeah, if you're betting 1,000, you can try it and see if it works. Go to GameFAQs. That's what I did, but I didn't make it work. So don't ask me for help on that one. So
My
yeah.
tip for this game and for any game like this is to point your finger at the cup or the card that you're trying to track. Somehow just having your finger pointed at it, for me, makes it easier to follow.
Well, that's a good tip. So I won like a couple hundred, but I didn't go crazy playing this. Did you go crazy?
Didn't the guide say, like, do it until you have 50,000 bits or something like that?
And I'm like, I'm not going to go do that. That's a lot of money. So I did not, basically. Did you play this, Jim? I guess you did not play the cupping balls game.
I did not play. That's not what it's called. I did not play that game. I didn't know it was a thing.
Yeah, I think there's a few different mini games in this particular game. Yeah, but let's move on to Squarely Against. Is there anything you are roundly for or squarely against, Jim?
I will say that I'm roundly for the boner boings. Tickling Grimio as he was making stew and having him react with a series of boner boing sound effects. That was delightful. And it was a moment that I'll continue to remember and cherish. What about you, Vanessa?
I am roundly for the auto battle system. I was a little bit hesitant to play this game because we just played another PS1 era RPG, and I find them sort of slow-paced, which is fine, except I'm an adult woman out in the world and I have things to do. And I can't be sitting around playing video games all day, although essentially that's what I did today. I also went through all of my clothes to make a bag for the Goodwill, because as things come in, things should go out. That's a rule to live by. So anyway, Auto Battle, it's great. Enjoy it. 5 stars.
Auto Battle, it's the best. I am roundly for the localization. Now, full disclosure, the localizer, Jeremy Blaustein, does follow me on Twitter, so we're basically best friends. I assume anyone who follows me on Twitter is immediately a real-life friend who I can talk to as if we've known each other for 20 years.
Oh, well, I think that's a great attitude.
It's called not acknowledging parasocial relationships.
Yeah. My best friends are the Twitch streamers I give money to.
Are you giving them money now?
Well, I gave one dude money because I watched his thing a whole bunch.
Okay.
Jeez, disposable income, Vanessa over here.
Jim.
We've been over this before, Jim. But I'm not going to call you out on it on the podcast.
I think this localization is one of the best ones. I think Final Fantasy 12 is also up there, and 9, 12, this one. They all are like super readable, and like compared to the slow text of Breath of Fire, which was agonizing, it's really nice that this is snappy and well written. Persona also had a really good translation and localization. So, I guess we're all roundly for this game with its boner sounds and auto battle and localization. So we didn't get any emails this week, Jim.
No emails this week.
You know why? You weren't here to ask for them.
Oh, man. Yeah. Everyone, we are lacking emails this week because I haven't been around to remind you that should you want to email us, which I imagine everybody does, you can reach us at squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. Or you can just ask us in our Facebook group, the Square Roots podcast group for smart, cool, very attractive people. Or you can tweet at us at Square Roots Pod.
And our tweet master, a young person who knows all the hippest internet lingo, will answer you.
Yes,
Stab.
The Square Roots Twitter intern. Can we have a Twitter intern character?
We do.
Yes, I think we do. Oh no, Matthew's apologizing to us. His shit is fucked up. I am quoting him as normally the non-swearer of the podcast. So I apologize.
Shit is bananas.
Bananas.
So what do we do now? Is it patron time?
We talk about our Patreon a little bit. There has been a delightful series of events on our Patreon. We had a big vote, and it was very successful with lots of new patrons coming in and voicing their support for many games. I think the front runners were Suikoden, obviously, and Vampire the Masquerade. And Lost Odyssey was like pulling in third, which is a very good game as well.
It was really fun. I liked it a lot. People on the Facebook group were really advocating for what they wanted to play. I liked seeing all of that engagement. There's been a great thread about how people found the podcast originally. That's been really fun. Just a good community of fine people.
And the for $5, you can help us choose what games to play next. We put on vote. I put up another vote too on the Patreon, for the $5 members, where they could vote on what Versus game we'll play this month. And they chose Crystallis for the Nintendo.
Ooh, sounds fancy.
I pledged, not to influence the vote. So I didn't say which one I wanted people to pick, but it was Willow. It was Willow. Of course it was Willow. I mean, that would just be 100% Vanessa and I being like, I thought it's a Daikini baby.
I'll take the baby. Willow.
That movie is amazing.
I'm just an adventurer. I don't want to take this baby.
I played Wicket.
I played Batman.
And Val Kilmer's in that too.
Yep.
I was like, which Batman was in that? Val Kilmer.
We do also, as a special reward for our patrons, read their names on the podcast. Normally, we would split the list into 4s, but Matt is not here because all his shit is messed up, as he said.
But Vanessa, $3 patrons get access to all these fun bonus episodes like the Crystallis and I think, frankly, one of our best episodes on Detroit Become Human.
Yeah, I know that.
That was a good one.
Although it was 2 hours long, so that's a biggie.
It was a big one.
Yeah.
It was a big chonker. But for the name reading, I do nominate Jim to read Matthew's section because he has been gone for so long and we miss the sound of his voice.
And he took all the money out of our Patreon.
He did take all the money.
It's mine. All right, let me kick it off here. Megan Sullivan, Wash in the Wind, George Brady, Ron, Vanessa's actual real mom, Benjamin Avner, Kevin Walter, Julia Zanella, I am the best people I am the best people Mon Meister the world has ever seen. Label Sack, PJ Enns, KGG Loth, Ooh. Eric Garb, Jared Collins, Brian Pitt, Kyle, fine, say everyone's name, at least it annoys Matt, Zachary Davis and the Purple Crayon, Chris Penyak, Race Jenkins, and then we have Devin Sloan, Cyril the Wolf, Rusty Kamada, Randy Pierce, Mary Queen of Scoffs, Ross Hartley, Matt Jorgensen, G. Bailey, Sean Gonzalez, Paul Birsch, Andy Best, Rolled Earth, Wonder Swan, Miguel Torres, More Games with Evil Playthroughs, Julian Titus was a ghost the whole time.
Oh no!
Sean Walsh, Patrick W. Bears, Peiko and the Chrism Blasters, Jonathan Lee, Jake Dickerson, Ward Childress, Golden Deer Professor, Reddit _ Harold _ Lauder, Andy M, Vanessa's mom, and Jameson.
Matthew Casterline, Robert T, Just Jerry, Stephen Kroc, Vanessa's fourth mom, Michael Crawford, Aaron Bachman, James Hostetler, Adam Zimmerman, Justin Ham, Cake Ninja is feeling A-OK. Just skip to Baldur's Gate 2 anyway. Hey, that rhymed! Mm-hmm. Hey! Stu Skeel, Gnawford, Robert M. Pullum, Dr. Steve Stone, Tracy Caniff, Jonathan Ellsworth. Naked Orphans is the only way to end this RPG.
Florian Jonas Kramer needs all the naps. That's not how Eugene, though. DJ Ethro, Dustin, Carson Clark, Brie Girth, Exocomp, Ashley T, Pico for Best Character 2019. Now, this does give me the idea that at the end of the year, we should have a best of thing, like maybe dumb categories like our favorite character or our favorite in-show character for the year and like other dumb rewards like that. That could be our Patreon for December. Our reward show. Anyway, award show, I should say. Well, we could have an awards and call them the Squooties. Yes. A golden Squooty. John Kissick, Tom, Gregory, Galendo, Cameron Shoei, T. Bumpkins, Kevin Shipley, Bobby Midkiff, Brian Stone, Jason, Joseph, Samu, Mitchell, Brady A. Berman, Nathan Poirot, David Shook, Kiva Moser, Alex Doulard, Jonathan O'Boyle, Stephen Paget, stop looking at me like that, Corroded Komodo Bode, Huxley, Iguana. And that's it. All right. Next time, as a reminder, we are playing through the fight with the zombie dragon. Yeah, and a little bit just after it where we get to the pier. And a little bit just after where we get to the pier. Mm-hmm. Our thanks to Banjo Guy Ollie, who did the music for this series, along with Mohawk Gamer, who did clarinet on this. And you can find links to their YouTubes and Bandcamp and Twitters and such in the show notes. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on, iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. It helps people find. People have said they have found our podcast because of it being promoted, and we get promoted on iTunes because of the good reviews you put in. So yeah, Foursquare Roots. I'm Jim Banks. I'm Matthew Van Zandt. I'm Matthew Van Zandt. No, Matthew Van Zandt. I am Johnny Brandon.
And I'm Vanessa.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't go breaking my heart.
I couldn't if I tried.
Baby, I'm not that kind. do, 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 do. Ooh, nobody knows. Nobody knows. When I was down, I'll be your clown.
I was your clown. You can't do both parts, John. We're doing a duet.
Oh, sorry. I always sing the song alone.
Oh, sad.
When I am down.
I was your clown.
Oh, is that it? I don't know.
No.
Da 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 da
Like,
da.
we tried.
Yeah.